The life story of Imam Hussain, A.S., birth and early life. Imam Hussain, A.S., the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, was born on 3rd Shaban, 4 AH, 626 CE, in Medina. He was the son of Imam Ali, A.S., and Bibi Fatima Zahra, S.A., making him a direct descendant of the Holy Prophet. The Prophet, PBUH, deeply loved him and his elder brother, Imam Hassan, A.S., often referring to them as the leaders of the youth of paradise. From childhood, Imam Hussain, A.S., was known for his piety, bravery, wisdom, and generosity. He was raised in the company of the Prophet, PBUH, and inherited his noble characteristics. Life during Caliphate of Imam Ali, A.S., after the passing of Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, a period of political turmoil began. When Imam Ali, A.S., became the fourth caliph in 656 CE, Imam Hussain, A.S., supported his father during major events, including the battles of Jamal, Siffin, and Narawan. In 661 CE, Imam Ali, A.S., was martyred in Kufa, and his elder son, Imam Hassan, A.S., became the leader of the Muslim community. Imam Hussain, A.S., stood by his brother as he made a peace treaty with Muawiyah, the ruler of the Umayyad dynasty, to prevent unnecessary bloodshed. After the martyrdom of Imam Hassan, A.S., in 670 CE, Imam Hassan, A.S., was poisoned by Muawiyah's agents, leaving Imam Hussain, A.S., as the next rightful leader of the Muslim Ummah. However, Imam Hussain, A.S., maintained the peace treaty made by his brother and remained in Medina. The rise of Yazid and refusal of allegiance in 680 CE, after Muawiyah's death, his son Yazid took over as the ruler. Yazid was known for his corrupt and oppressive rule, which went against the principles of Islam. He demanded that Imam Hussain, A.S., accept him as the legitimate ruler. Imam Hussain, A.S., being a man of truth and justice, refused to pledge allegiance, knowing that doing so would mean endorsing tyranny. Fearing the consequences of his resistance, Imam Hussain, A.S., decided to leave Medina and moved to Mecca to seek refuge in the sacred city. Journey to Karbala. The people of Kufa, a city in Iraq, sent thousands of letters inviting Imam Hussain, A.S., to lead them against Yazid. In response, he sent his cousin Muslim ibn Aqil to assess the situation. When Muslim ibn Aqil confirmed the people's support, Imam Hussain, A.S., began his journey toward Kufa with his family and companions. However, Yazid's governor Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad suppressed the Kufans' rebellion and executed Muslim ibn Aqil. As Imam Hussain, A.S., and his caravan approached Kufa, Yazid's forces, led by Umar ibn Sa'd, intercepted them and forced them to stop at Karbala on the 2nd of Muharram, 61 AH, 680 CE. The Battle of Karbala, 10th Muharram, Ashura, for 10 days, Imam Hussain, A.S., and his small group of about 72 companions, including women and children, were surrounded by Yazid's army of thousands. The water supply was cut off, causing immense suffering, especially for the children. On the 10th of Muharram, Ashura, the battle began. One by one, Imam Hussein's, A.S., companions and family members, including his 18-year-old son Ali Akbar, A.S., 6-month-old son Ali Asghar, A.S., his brother Abbas, A.S., and his nephew Qasim, A.S., were martyred. Finally, Imam Hussain, A.S., stood alone, wounded and thirsty. Despite the unbearable suffering, he continued to fight with immense bravery until he was mercilessly martyred by Shimr ibn Diljashan. His sacred head was severed, and his body was trampled under the horses of Yazid's army. Aftermath of Karbala, the captivity of the Ahlul Bayt after Imam Hussein's, A.S., martyrdom, the women and children of his family, including Bibi Zainab, S.A., and Imam Zainal Abidin, A.S., were taken as captives and paraded through Kufa and Damascus in chains. Despite their suffering, Bibi Zainab, S.A., and Imam Zainal Abidin, A.S., boldly spoke out against Yazid's tyranny, exposing his atrocities to the people.
Eventually, the captives were released and allowed to return to Medina, where they continued to spread the message of Karbala. The legacy of Imam Hussain, a.s. Imam Hussain, a.s., sacrificed his life not for power but for truth, justice, and the preservation of Islam. His stand against oppression became a symbol of resistance against tyranny for all generations. The event of Ashura is commemorated every year by millions of people worldwide during Muharram, especially on the 10th, Ashura, and Arbeen, 40 days after Ashura. His message of never bow to oppression continues to inspire people of all faiths. Conclusion: Imam Hussain, a.s.'s life was a testament to faith, sacrifice, and justice. His martyrdom at Karbala is one of the greatest tragedies in Islamic history, yet it remains a beacon of hope and resistance against injustice. His words, "Death with dignity is better than a life of humiliation," continue to resonate with truth seekers around the world. Would you like more details on a specific part of his life?